Welcome to Jerome, Arizona, an old copper mining town built precariously up on a steep hillside, a town full of rich history. A very interesting place to explore. If it's your first visit to this town, and especially if you're into history and mining history, a really good place to begin your journey in Jerome is here at the Jerome State Historic Park. You'll learn a lot about the history of this town as well as the mining industry, and it really serves as a good basis for exploring the best parts that are way up on a steep hillside over there. So one thing I'd really like to do before digging into the museum here is just coming out here at this overlook and just checking out the town. Look how it's built up into that hill over there. It's crazy. Alright, so the museum is right there behind me inside of the old Douglas Mansion. There's a fee to enter. For ages 14 and up, it's $7 per entry. For ages 7 through 13, it's $4 per entry, and then ages 6 and under are free. So right outside the mansion, after you pay your fee, you can see a lot of old mining equipment, ore carts, my favorite. This one kind of looks like a grill on wheels. An on-the-go snack station. This is kind of cool. You can see one with actual ore in it. Look at this little cart. It's a Munchkin cart. They should totally reopen this and make a ride through the mines where you sit in one of these and go down into the mine. Such a wide variety of ore carts and little trams like this. I guess this is an electric trolley. Bunch of other various equipment, kind of a small little boneyard out here, I'd say. Go down here and check out what's going on down here. There's lots of little nooks and crannies to explore on this property. There's a bunch of other really cool ore carts over here. All sorts of different kinds. The view from up here is magnificent. All that red colored rock out there, that is Sedona, which we'll be visiting sometime in the near future. And even beyond that, you could see a mountain poking up its head. You could see snow on top of it. That is Flagstaff. That is Mount Humphrey, part of the San Francisco Peaks. And this is a pretty cool sign. You can line things up with the view over here. So we'll start here. There's an assay office, I believe right below us here. And then on the other side of it, that building across the way, I believe, is the electrical substation. And all the houses up there, those were houses of executives of the mine. And a honeymoon cottage of the Douglas family, even over there. And up there is what's known as the Little Daisy Hotel, which was built in 1918. And it was a hotel used to house the workers of the mine. Today it's just a private residence, private mansion. Oh, look at this. It's the old Douglas buggy. And it's so neat. There's more stuff back there. It's hard to see it though, the way they have this arranged. Smoky Joe. Now I thought Amy and I were being smart today. It's a Monday, we have some time off right now, so I thought we'd wait until the week to come out here and it wouldn't be crowded, but this museum's very busy, especially for a Monday. Now I think part of the reason might be that down there you can see a tour bus. So there is a movie that I'm about to go in there and watch, a half-an-hour presentation, I think, about the history of the town and the Douglas family. And when we paid our admission, they said a big group was pushing through, so I'm hoping they've kind of moved on and now it's our turn to see this place to ourselves. All this is very reminiscent of what we had just seen at the Old Dominion Historic Mine Park We have a video for that also, and I'm gonna put a link down in the description below if you wanna see that, but they had a boneyard of ore carts very similar to that. It was really neat. So you can see right off the bat, this is a really nice little museum. A lot of historic photographs here that really show the town back in its heyday. Oh, check this out. There's a bunch of historic documents. I mean, you could spend, if you really wanted to read everything and see everything here, you'd have to spend a full day at least. There's so much rich history here of this family. Check these out, some really old cameras on display here. Old postcards. There's a lot of history here about the Douglas family. We are in the Douglas Mansion where this museum currently resides. Oh wow, I'm assuming this is an original room. A study of some sort, I would say. And here's another view of the old library from a different perspective. You can also see it from that room over there, but it's very solemn in here, very quiet. So cool. I'm assuming those are all original books down there.
Down the mountain, every day they take a count and find it closer to the valley than it were.
So the movie that they have in there, it's pretty lengthy, but it was actually really awesome. It really taught me a lot of stuff that I didn't know, so that is highly recommended to check that out. So this little room here is a little exhibit on the geology and mineralogy of the region and some of the metals mined here. And they even have like a little example assay office back here, which is pretty cool. Some examples of copper, which is the main thing mined here. Now that is awesome. Fluorescent minerals. I love me some fluorescent minerals. This is a 3D model of the town. We're right there. You can actually see the shafts that we're going to look at later. The Audrey shaft and the Edith shaft next to it. So this room back here is the old kitchen, it looks like. It's an old ice box. I don't know if you can open it or not. Nothing saying that you shouldn't. So this is a neat little room. It's the old kitchen. It even has an old ice box back there and lots of other various bottles and things on display here. Oh, look at this. It's an old carbonator to make sodas and were used in bars and restaurants. So I guess if you wanted some fizz in your drink, this is how it was done back in the day. I read about this too. This house actually was equipped with a central vacuum system, which is very impressive knowing the age of this home. I think it was built in 1916, so pretty neat. Some old-time ointments and lotions. Those are so cool. It's an early 1900s wicker wheelchair. And these are from the doctor's offices of the time. Oh, dentistry kit over there. That is frightening. That looks like it's straight out of a horror movie. So yeah, it's really neat wandering around these halls because you're wandering through someone's old mansion. and you really get a sense of the presence of the mansion itself intermixed with all these cool exhibits. It's really, really interesting. This to me is one of the neatest things to check out here in the museum. It's a model, 3D model of the town of Jerome. You probably recognize the J on top of the hill by now, but you can actually look underneath it to see what lies underneath the town. All of the red areas there, it says that those are all mined out sections where they removed all the material, and the yellow are the actual mine shafts. This here is really neat. You have the Audrey shaft, which is located right outside the museum. We can actually go and look down it in a little bit, but we'll kind of go underground for a minute. That shaft right there, it goes down further than the Empire State Building is tall. So we're now up on the second floor of the mansion. It looks like they've got a lot of exhibits up here about mining specifically. Oh, look at this. I think this is the original bathroom. I read somewhere that they had a marble shower, and there it is. Oh, this is a very nice bathroom. Very spacious. Yeah, this is the original bathroom here at the Douglas Mansion. You know, every time I come here and I see that mine, the shaft over outside of the Audrey head frame, I always wonder what it looks like down inside the mine. Well, they've got pictures here. Oh, this is really neat. This is talking about machine drilling. So this would be some of the equipment they use, I guess, to drill out the rock in the mine. Wow, imagine working down in one of those things. Oh my gosh. Check this out. It's like a model train. That is amazing. I don't think this has anything to do with the town Jerome itself. I mean, I could be mistaken, but just a model of a mining town, I assume. What I would have done to have this as a kid, what I would do to have this now. Look at the detail of this thing. So looking around, I think in retrospect, it is kind of a small museum. It's not the biggest thing. There's lots to read though. If you want to get really deep into the history, especially the Douglas family downstairs, there's old newspaper articles on display and all sorts of stuff. If you really want to read everything in here, you could spend a full day in here, I think. But if you kind of want to skim it, watch the video. That really tells you a lot about the town. There's a lot of interesting things on the Douglas family, and yeah, up here, really cool things on exhibits. But this is a great place to start your day for sure. So they have a lot of cool stuff here in the gift shop. A lot of fun little things that you'll usually find at Arizona gift shops, with some really cool t-shirts too. All right, we are now departing the state park, the museum here at the Douglas Mansion. Very informative, and now we're gonna go do some exploring. I think our first stop is gonna be the Audrey head frame, and we're gonna peer down into the abyss. I can't wait. So behind me here is the Audrey head frame and the Audrey shaft. Remember in the museum we saw that 3D model of the shaft going down about 1900 feet rather. Right here. You can actually see down inside there. This here is something to see. Oh my God. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys this here. This is the head frame and shaft comparisons. This is the shaft here. That is the Empire State Building, folks, and the Chrysler Building, and the Eiffel Tower, and the Great Pyramid. And I am standing on the safety glass with nothing below me and that thing falls that far down. So yeah, you can see quite a ways down there, but it just turns into a dark abyss. And you can walk over it, and boy, it gives me goosebumps knowing that that's 1,900 feet straight down. Ah. Oh my God, if this thing gave way right now. Wonder how long it would take me for me to hit the bottom. All right, I'm doing something that's gonna make me sick. Oh my God. I'm laying on top of this thing. All right, that is freaky. I'm done. So over here, I think this must have been a little people elevator, I'm guessing, because it fits people. I fit in here nicely. They even got a little thing to hold on to. I'm wondering, did they send people down the shaft in this thing? Or I didn't see any signage about this here, but I'm imagining, sure.
So it was a long way down. Maybe they did chin-ups on that bar.
You could actually. I mean, I don't know if I can even do one today, but yeah. So Jerome is a destination for paranormal enthusiasts, and you can do a lot of fun little tours here, little ghost tours of the town. And Amy and I took one a couple Halloweens ago for fun, and one of the legends they tell you is that a young boy, or maybe somebody, a guy that was in his teenage years, I think, actually fell down this shaft. And on the way down, since you're not gonna really go in a straight trajectory down it, hit his head against the concrete and got decapitated and all this gruesome stuff, and apparently haunts this place. So ever since then, I was fascinated by the story, and I've researched it, and I could never find anything about it. So today I finally was able to ask a ranger up there at the museum if that story's true, and he says it's absolutely bogus. It's one of many things, tall tales they'll tell you on the ghost tours to make it interesting, and I believe it. Like I said, something like that, you'd think with as many newspapers they had around here at the time, something like that would have been documented in history. So unfortunately, if you hear that, I think that's a whopper. There's a lot of other mining paraphernalia and some picnic tables to enjoy your lunch, knowing that right below you is a labyrinth of mine shafts stretching for miles, probably going down thousands of feet. Here's a generator room. Look at these old turbines in here, they're so gigantic. I'm assuming this was used to power operations here at the shaft. All right, so what did we learn today? Well, if you want to come visit Jerome, I would highly, highly recommend start your day up on the hill over there at the old Douglas Mansion. It's a relatively small but very informative start to your day. Then come down here, check out the Audrey head frame, peer into the abyss, appreciate the engineering that went into mining, and then head uphill to the town of Jerome. And there's so much to do and explore there. We didn't have time today after doing a thorough exploration of all this stuff, but we will be back to do another episode when we explore the streets of the actual town of Jerome. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to support the Cactus Atlas, the best way to do so is to like, share, and subscribe. And also, look us up on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under the name Cactus Atlas. We will see you next time.